I say! Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good evening. Sava here, Football Heritage TV. The show is only going to be 60 seconds long. We're top. We've scored loads of goals. We're not conceding many. We're in a title race. Alan, thanks for joining the show. Haz, thanks for coming. Kate, we will see you all later. Thank you very much. Nothing to talk about, according to many people. On a serious note, welcome, Kate. Welcome, Haz. Welcome, Alan. How are you all? You well?
Yep, good.
Good. That's the energy we needed. That's the energy we needed completely. Let's crack on. Look, guys, on a serious note, we are top. We go into the international break top, level on points with them lot down the road. It's a North London 1 and 2 at the moment, separated purely by the number of goals scored, which we are edging by 2. We scored 18, they've scored 16, and our goal difference between both teams is exactly the same. The goal difference is plus 10. Alan, let me come to you. Not the start many would have predicted. I didn't see many people predicting 8 games, no defeats, top of the table going into international break. Good start?
Fantastic start. Look, like you just said, I think when I've done prediction shows before the start of the season, I had Spurs at 6th before a ball was kicked. I think most rival fans had us 8th, 9th, 10th and below even that. So to be where we are, like you said, 8 games in, with especially losing Harry Kane, to have more goals than most as well, it's just going to show that we've had a good start to the season. Long may it continue. We'll have bumps in the road. Things will go wrong, but we're 8 games into a process with this new manager, and it started the right way. Let's hope we can go from strength to strength. Does that mean this season? No. Can it happen down the road? Absolutely. But yeah, fantastic start to the season. Let's hope we continue as soon as we come back off and don't do what Spurs normally do and throw away or gift unwanted points away. You know, we need to just maintain what we're doing. Although football isn't as pretty as it can be at certain times, we're getting to the point where we're getting results that we shouldn't be getting, which previous Spurs teams have failed to do. So I'm just happy we're playing good football. You know, everyone's buying into the project. It seems like everyone's together, barring a certain person who seems like they've got a bad attitude. We'll get into that at some point. But majority of it, I'm here for it. I think, you know, I'm way more pumped than I have been with the last 3 managers. And yeah, like I said, long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Kate, let me come around to you. I think Alan raises a great point there. He's more pumped than he has been for the last 3 managers. Is this purely a stylistic thing? Is this an attitude thing? Is this a human element to him? Is it all of the above? What is it that Ange's done differently to the previous 3 managers if we go Nuno, Jose and Conte? What's he done differently?
I think, first of all, it's the style of play. We're finally getting to see the football we're all desperate to see, going at teams, attack. Yeah. Ange is probably the most likeable character I've ever come across. He's just so genuine. A breath of fresh air is what everyone always says, but he seems to really get how the fans feel and get the club and get the whole philosophy of the club and the history. And the whole squad just seem really together and united, and everything feels like it's all come together at the same time. So, you know, it seems to be the Ange effect. It's brilliant. I had us down before the start of the season to finish 8th. So we're massively exceeding expectations so far. So, yeah, I mean, everything's great. I think it's a mixture of everything going so well at the moment. It's all just feels good.
It feels good. It feels good. Listen, Haz, good evening to you as well. Look, it feels different from the respect of, even on social media, like the players seem to be having good camaraderie on there. There seems to be this togetherness on the pitch, this never say die attitude, which some people are using it as a bad thing. You know, oh my God, you scraped past them, and oh, you needed a last minute winner. But these are good traits, right? Not saying you get away with it every game, but these are good traits to have for a unity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just start by saying welcome to everyone in the chat as well, and everyone watching. Big up. And also, I have to say, Sava, well done to all the Gooners in the chat as well today. It's a great result for you guys. You stuck in there and got the job done. Yeah, unity. Right. So there was a post today on social media with all the players messaging Mickey van der Ven saying, well done, this, that, and the other, all different sorts of messages. And you look at that and you think one of the biggest things that Ange's changed at the club is the unity within the club, within the players. There's a sense of brotherhood. There's a sense of togetherness, and they're all in this together. They're all aware that they're all in this together. You can see it from the huddles at the beginning of the games down to, going around clapping the fans. That, to me, suggests that, there isn't any sort of nastiness in the dressing room like we've had previously. We've seen on the Amazon documentaries, and we've seen on other social media platforms, players being at each other's throats and this, that, and the other. I think it's important because on the pitch it reflects, and they fight for each other. There's been a lot of bumps on the road. There's been, times where we've rode our luck. Last game we played, we massively rode our luck. But the important thing is that the players, they hung in there, and, they supported each other. And I think that's important to create that atmosphere, to create that environment at the club, that winning feeling. We win together, we lose together, and we sort of, go through this journey together. So, yeah, 100%. The unity part is massive. One of the biggest things that we've been talking about, as everyone on this panel knows, is that we wanted to create what would you call it? We wanted to get the club thinking differently, changing the attitude and the culture of the club. And I think Angie's taking the right steps in doing that. So, yeah, it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Marlon, good evening to you. Hope you're well, my friend. Marlon in his beautiful Tottenham chair. Marlon, we'll get straight into it. Look, we're talking about how positive it's been. And, I don't think anyone, certainly I don't think there was any Spurs fans predicting 20 points and top of the table from 8 games. I don't think any of our rivals were giving us anywhere near this amount of credit. I'm going to ask you, is it sustainable? Lots of people will tell you, well, this is a great start, but, people will say, well, we haven't, we've had a couple of tough games against Liverpool and Arsenal, but some of the other games haven't been, against the great teams, and it's early doors. We will fade away. Other people think, you know what? No, there's no reason. They've watched Arsenal and City today. No reason to be worried at all after 8 games. And we are going to just continue this through. Where do you sit with this? Because it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is a tough one. I was saying a couple of weeks ago about you know what.
Yeah. You can say it. Title race. You can say it.
But obviously, my opinion's now changed since then, and only because I said it depended on if we won at the Emirates. But I'm loving the positivity. I'm loving the unity of the players at the moment. I'm just loving everything, and that's what I'm going to enjoy at the moment. I'm just loving the way the club is and everything like that. Is it sustainable? Only if we can keep this first 11. It's only sustainable on that, and that's where I'm sitting with it. Because at the end of the day, yes, if we get injuries, we will. Look, let's take Arsenal last year. We all said, was it sustainable? They were playing beautiful football. A lot of people saying yes, but we're always saying there were 1 or 2 injuries away from it collapsing.
Yeah,
I think we're in the same boat.
Sure.
But they had more, they had more depth than we do.
Mm-hmm.
But we've just got to ride it while we can. The next few games will tell us the next few games will tell us if we can sustain it. We've got some games that are winnable games, right? We're not coming out of London as well, which is going to be a massive help. So let's see what they can do. But I'm just going to enjoy this while I can, because there's only one man who's going to lay it all down in the end if it all goes wrong. And we know who that is. We'll see what happens when we get to January, when he needs the reinforcements. We'll see what happens.
That's harsh on Postecoglou. You blame him already. Look, before we go into yesterday's performance, I don't want to do the round robin. I think we can have an adult general chat here. I think it's interesting, right, that you've got to look at the squad depth, like Marlon alluded to there. You know, we have got a very threadbare squad. It's a big squad. Like in the summer, we were saying, God, we've got to get rid of players. But when we have quality, you know, we do struggle after that first 11. We are already playing once a week. People want to chuck the Leicester scenario in. That is the thing that I'm seeing more than ever. Can we do a Leicester? Is it possible now? Is the league the same now, guys and girls, as it was for Leicester then? Were there a Man City, a Liverpool, an Arsenal at this level? What do we all make about keeping everyone fit and this squad depth for 38 games?
Go on, Alan.
I don't think when Leicester done it, you had the odd team, like we were another team that were trying to challenge for the title that season. Arsenal kind of tried to, but then fell away. Spurs, it was our first time. Man City had a bad season, so did Liverpool and Chelsea as well. This year, I don't think you've got the same type of teams having bad seasons. You can say we're like eight games in, but I think it's from us until 6th. There's 5 points in it. So you've got really good teams. Villa are performing, Newcastle are performing, Brighton are performing, as well as your Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal, who people were predicting to be in a title race before the season started. So it's so much harder this season. So although we, do indeed only have one game a week, like you say, the drop off from that 11 to other people coming in, there's a reason why Spurs have struggled in recent seasons, because quite a lot of them aren't good enough. Mm-hmm. So they're not all of a sudden going to be good enough. And even with Ange and the type of football we play, you've seen when they've come on to fill the gaps when people have gone off, they've just not been good enough. So you need to improve. Will we get it all done in January? Probably not. Will we lose players to AFCON and the Asia Cup? Absolutely. So although, we do have one game a week, I don't think we've got enough quality in depth, and we don't have enough teams falling off like we do when Leicester won the title to be in that situation. So no, look, I'm loving everything that's going on. I'm positive about more often than not with regards to results, but I just don't think we can be in at this moment in time. If we get to March or April and when Spurs are still in a similar position, then I expect it. Or I'm saying now we need to go on and do something with this. But as it stands right now in October, we get people. I don't want people to get carried away.
Yeah, I mean, Kate, let me ask you. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because the whole getting carried away thing is a hot topic right now, right? Rather than us enjoying it. Like I'm happy. I'm really happy with where we are as a club. I think that sometimes, though, these things can be ruined by talk of titles, by getting a bit overzealous. And that's the only reason why I'm kind of cautious with let's keep feet on the ground. Let's see how we go. Because one thing I'm mindful of is this is exactly what many of us as Spurs fans were saying to the Arsenal fans last season. And let's be fair, Arsenal was superb last year. I think someone in the chat, someone Arsenal will tell me if I muck this up. Pretty sure, didn't they win like 13 of their first 15 league games or something? And they were like flying and had this 8-point gap. And we were there going, they've not got the squad for this. They're going to fall away. Just wait. That's why I'm reluctant to do it after 8 games, Kate. But do you understand why people are talking about title races on the 8th of October?
I do, of course I do, because we've had so many, like the last 3 managers have brought nothing but misery. I mean, I was at the stage last season. I think I watched about 2 match of the days the whole season. It was just so depressing. So the first positive thing is human nature to jump on the bandwagon and overreact, because that's the nature of football and football fans. I have full faith in Ange. I love him, and I'm fully aboard the Ange train. I have zero faith in Daniel Levy backing Ange, and that's the biggest thing for me, because come January, if he don't back Ange, you know, we're at the minute, we've still got Dyer on the bench, we've still got Skip on the bench, we've got Højbjerg on the bench. It's not a good look, and a bench like that is not going to win the league. Regarding Leicester, it was a different situation. Man City weren't anywhere near as established as they are now. Liverpool are better than they were then. Arsenal a million times better than they were then. Newcastle are coming up the ranks. Brighton, I know they lost today. All these teams have improved massively. Leicester's was, I don't want to say a fluke, because it kind of takes their shine off them. And, you know, I'd love to have had a fluky season and won the league, but it's not something I see being repeated anytime soon, I'm afraid. Saying that, my husband's fully aboard the yes, we're in a title race, and good luck to him. If he wants to choo around the house over the moon, you know, let him crack on. I'll keep my feet firmly on the ground.
Does he actually say choo? Because that would make it more fun for me if he's actually running around the house going choo. You know.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. Because he's only got one arm at the minute, I'm feeding him, and he does like it when I go, here comes the Ange train, choo.
Superb. Look, I think the key thing here is, right, it's all football chat, right? So no matter what's said, none of us actually know, because we're in October. And I think that's the key thing, right? It is October the 8th. We've not even hit fireworks night. We've not hit Christmas. We've not had Valentine's Day, right? We've not had any of this, and we're talking about title races. Not just us. Liverpool fans are talking about being in a title race. Arsenal fans are talking about being in a title race. Obviously, Man City fans are talking about winning the title. 3 of those 4 sets of teams, maybe all 4, are going to be wrong. Like, someone's got to be wrong right around this thing. And this is what makes it really interesting. What I want to talk to you about is lots of people today are saying, like, oh, well, we've seen Man City there, nothing to worry about. People in the chat saying that they're nothing to fear. We can finish above them. They're not the same. Don't we hear this every year about Man City in kind of October, November, December, and then Man City go, are people getting a bit too a little bit overzealous with what's going on at Man City after 2 defeats in the league?
Put it this way, right? If we started the season badly, say if we were playing like we was playing last season or the season before, languishing in 12th position, would we be saying the same thing about Manchester City? Would we be saying, yeah, Man City, they're there for the taking, they're not the same? You know, we'll do them when they come over and this, that, and the other. Nope. It's because of the way we've been playing and the start that we've had. Yeah, go on, Marlon. Go on.
No, but to be honest, right, a lot of us thought last season that a lot of us got to a point and we all thought Arsenal were going to win the league. A lot of us did. So we all thought Man City. Yeah, I know, and not apart from you, right?
True Spurs. They're never winning the league.
But a lot of us Spurs fans did write off City because we got to a point where Arsenal were playing so well, we thought, Man City ain't going to do this. And we were all worried. A lot of us were shitting our pants, basically. And I just believe that we were, even if we were 12th, we just saw what Arsenal were doing. And like, I remember February and March time, we were all in WhatsApp groups, we were all on social media, and we were getting worried. All of us were. We were thinking that City weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
But they brought it out. So I think we'd still be talking the same no matter what. Because I think Arsenal probably our biggest worry of doing something.
And the yin to my yang has spoken. Yeah. And I was going to get onto that. That bit.
So I know you, Has. I know you. We work too much together.
He just wanted to get in there first. Has. Now you look like a copycat.
I thought you were going to say something else, but I'm glad you didn't. All good. No, what I was going to say is, like, everyone's going on about, City's not the same, then Arsenal's going to do this, that, and the other. What we've got to realise is exactly what you just said, Marlon, is that they can lose 8-9 points, like they can have that gap, and they've shown that they can come back and put together like 10 wins in a row. You know what I mean? So to say, they're not the same, we can do this, that, and the other, I think it's a bit premature until we've played them, especially with this new system that we're playing. The more attacking and, expansive football that we're playing, we don't know what it's going to be like, because we was discussing it today. The space that we are going to give Manchester City when we play them, they're going to have the freedom of the pitch, basically. We're going to have to work double hard to win the ball back because they're going to have the majority of possession. But we play a high line. Yeah, they're going to look to exploit that. So how is that going to work this season, where last season we soaked up the pressure and we hit them on the counter? You know what I mean? So I also think, like I just said, it's just a bit premature to be saying 8 games in as well that they're not the same Manchester City. They can pull on a run, go on a run, and just pull it out of the bag. Rodri's still going to come back. They've got so many players that are going to come back, and they're still bedding in players like Gavardio and Nunes and everyone else. So, I just think it's a bit premature. We're only 8 games in, people. We're only 8 games in. Remember that things can change drastically by January.
Yeah, I mean, Marlon, it's interesting, right? Look, for me, I'm not changing because of 2 defeats. I've said I think Man City will win this league comfortably. I still believe they will. I think that lessons need to be learned from previous seasons, and we've seen what they do. We've seen how they ramp it up when they need to.
Yep.
And I think we've got to realise as well, just like that, they lost. Wolves, Arsenal, done. That could be us. That could be Arsenal. That could be Liverpool. That's how quickly things change. And that's why I know a lot of people are really like, Sava, get on board the train. Listen, I'm on the train. I think I was one of the first passengers that wanted to be on the Ange Postecoglou train. I just think that October the 8th, can we at least wait till we get to February the 8th? I don't know. Can we wait and see, like what Kate said, can we wait and see what Mr. Levy does in January? Because we've seen what he does, Marlon.
Yeah.
Harry Redknapp was given Saha and Nelson, but he wanted Cahill and Tevez to get over the line.
Yeah.
Pochettino had 2 windows in a row where he wasn't given anything. Antonio Conte was given Pedro Porro, 1 player on the last day of the window. Jose Mourinho was given Steven Bergwijn and what's his name in midfield? Gedson Fernandez on loan. Doesn't it all boil down to let's wait some time and then let's see what the club do?
Yeah, but I think Jim's actually made a great point. We're dreaming, and that's what we want to do. We just want to dream, right? But you actually said something earlier, which I found, and which I did find fascinating. You said Liverpool think they're in a title race. Man City fans obviously think they're in a title race. So do Arsenal, right? And I think let's just have this confidence. Let's have this confidence, and because actually this confidence will then feed onto the pitch. And I think that's what's happening. Like the home game against Liverpool, right? The atmosphere was unbloody believable. Like literally, I know everything that happened, but actually, I hadn't been. You saw what the atmosphere was like last year. But I think if we, you saw Arsenal last season, their fans believed, the players believed, and I think if we can stay united together, title race, I think it's a bit far fetched. But how many of us, and including you, Sav, have gone from finishing 8th to actually going? Actually, I think we can finish top 4. That is how confident. We are.
Sure.
And that's what everyone has to realize. Actually, we've gone from thinking we were going to finish mid-table, right? We was all going, this ain't going to happen. But actually, we're all thinking, actually, we can actually finish top 4. So the confidence is there with everybody, even the people that say, you're being negative. Actually, their mentality's changed as well in the last couple of weeks, going, actually, I think we can get Champions League now. So everybody's feeling it. We've just all got different ambitions on top where we're going to finish. But I believe most 99% of us now think we're going to get the Champions League spot this season.
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. I want to finish off the talk of title races before we move on to yesterday's game, and then look at some of the different areas of the pitch for Spurs. Look, in terms of, Marlon makes a great point. Look, before the season started, I had us down from anywhere between 5th and 10th because I genuinely didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how the players were going to react. I knew that I liked the manager, but I didn't know what was he going to be able to get out of them. Is Marlon right? Have we now shifted to, forget title talk for a moment, let's put that to one side.
Yeah.
Have we now shifted to, hang on, if we don't get Champions League football, which I believe goes down to 5th this year, right? Something to do with the, I don't get it if I'm brutally honest. Is it disappointing then if we finish outside the top 5 from where we are October the 8th, Alan? Or is it still even too early to say that when you look at the gap between us, Brighton, Villa is only like 4 points down to 6th?
Exactly that. I mean, if we were 28 games in, then you would expect it. But 8 games in, considering that, and this is Aston Villa playing good football, this is Brighton playing really good football, all these teams playing at the top of their game, like you said, the amount of points covering the top. I can't remember a season where it started like this and 5 or 6 teams were within 5 points of each other at the top. Like I've not seen it, so not from this point. Like I said, the longer the season goes on, if we maintain where we are, then we have that conversation. But I understand why fans are getting overhyped and stuff like that, because we've seen years of absolutely awful football, not being anywhere near the top, not playing this type of good football. So I understand why people are getting positive, but obviously the old saying of Rome was built in a day is true. This Spurs team will not be built in one season. This Tottenham team will not win the league in one season. I want, of course, as a Spurs fan, I want stuff like that to happen, but it's just being realistic. I'm here for the good football. I'm here for how the team's reacting, how the team's a team now. It's not focused through one person, however good that person was. It's everyone's free to be able to play, and people can pull the strings, people can get involved, people can get, it's a team for me now. So I'm happy for all of that. But I think I understand people's enthusiasm for for winning the league or what they're wanting, because we've been starved for so long. But realism, you have to be realistic with it as well. So we'll see. Anything above, look, I had 6th. Anything above 6th for me is a bonus and could lead to European football or Champions League football, because that's where you could be with 5th. So that'll be fine. But if we were to finish 6th and all that from where we are, I've seen teams fall off from having a good start to the season and finishing like 6th to 10th. So I don't want us to finish lower than that, but I've seen it. So again, 8 games in, if it was anything, it was 28 or close to the end of the season, then yeah, I could understand talking about a top 4 or Champions League race or even challenging for a title. Would we be that close to it? But not 8 games in, guys. Just I love you. I love you. Relax.
Yeah. Big up. Sorry, has anyone got an echo? I'll come to you 1 second. Has anyone got an echo? I'm hearing a few people say there might be a bit of an echo. Anyone?
Not hearing anything.
Nope. No, I can't hear it either. Okay, cool. We're all right. Sorry, I'll come to you just quickly before we move on to the next subject. What time was the comment that you wanted me to bring up? I can't find it.
No, it's all right. I was just going to respond to multiple comments from Moschino, but then I realised he's talking utter waffle, and most of the chat's not responding to him either. So I'm going to do the same thing and not really entertain it. So Moschino, nice one, mate.
Can I say one thing quickly though? If there's a football god out there, please let us win the league by 2 points and Liverpool finish 2nd. It will be the best thing ever. Right? That's what needs to happen.
Wouldn't it be even better if we won it by 1 point? Like
Yeah.
just to take their one drop point. Let's guys, I don't mind who answers first. By the way, smash the like button. We've not asked. It's 30 minutes in. Smash the like button. There's 412 of you in here at the moment and only 100 likes. I mean, that is pretty stingy. A 1 in 4 ratio. This is nearly as bad as Richarlison.
Worse.
Worse than Richarlison. Oh, I don't know about that. Please smash the like button. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to all of my wonderful guests. And we are only 2 subscribers away from 11,500. So if 2 people wanted to subscribe, that would be great. The link is in the chat and it is pinned as well. And just before I move on, big up to Bar 8 Jane, always in the chat, has said, not saying it will happen, but a North London title race would break the internet. Come on, you gooners.
Yeah.
Hope you're well, Sav on the panel. Barat, can you imagine last day of the season, level on points, both teams going into their 3 o'clock games? It would be sensational for the winners, and whoever finished 2nd, it would feel like relegation. But listen, if it means being in a title race, if it's against you lot, I'll take it. I'll let you lot be there as well. I'll take it. And big up to Blaine Dev, always a massive supporter of all the channels. Big up, my man. Has said the biggest difference I see is the togetherness. When in the past 4 seasons did you see our defense celebrate tough defending and clearances? It would have been Dyer scratching his head. Hashtag Big Ange. Yes, Eric Dyer, the #1 defensive reinforcement on the bench. Blaine Dev, I completely agree with you. Togetherness is a huge part of football, and the players definitely look like they are together. So thank you so much for that, my friend. You're always very generous. Guys and girls, let's go to yesterday's game. Before the game, we saw lots of 5-0s, 6-3, 7-8s, 10-4s, all these kind of predictions that we're getting for games. It didn't quite pan out like that, but we got the win. And I think for me, that's the key takeaway from yesterday's game, no matter how we played. But were we bad? Were we just wasteful? Did we look like we'd run out of steam and ideas? What was going on yesterday? Anyone can start.
Alan, I'll let you start. I'll tell you why. I watched your show yesterday, and all I could hear was you lot bigging up our team, how good we were. And I was watching it thinking, what? So I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, Alan messaged me, and she said, you know that bloke with a wall? And I was like, bloke with a wall.
Mustard wall, get it right.
And I said, oh, the mustard wall?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, like yours and Perchy's T-shirts. She went, he chats so much shit, that bloke. That's what she said.
No way. Yeah.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
I believe Kate would, to be fair, and that's fine.
She didn't. Go on, mate.
Look, okay, I'll start here as Kate's fired some shots and all that. Look, let's be honest. The game started just if we had had our finishing boots on, we would have been 4-0 up by 30 minutes and everyone would be saying something completely different about that game. Now, I get that if it fell to two of our best chances fell to Richarlison, who is awful. I said, I think he could do a job. I'm absolutely wrong on that. Get him in the bin, get him gone, get him done in January and bring somebody else in. So he had two clear-cut chances, didn't take them. The one where Porro got through and the defender very cutely nudged him, like to obviously put him off. And like, I think if Son had been in that position, probably would have found the net. Same with Kulu, great fit, like Kulu with the shot, great fingertip saved by the keeper. If all these go in 4-0, everyone's singing and dancing, oh, we're handball, we're smashing them. It didn't happen that way. We didn't take our chances. And then obviously you can't, like Spurs, even if it's Spurs, you have teams where you have blips and you obviously drop off in form or you drop off in the performance that you're given. That happened with Spurs towards the end. Luton got a bit more into it once they realised they were in a game and just stopped looking at us and admiring us. They got stuck in. They obviously caused us a few problems. But Basuma is an absolute clown. Now, he's been sensational for us this season, but to do what he did, being on the yellow card, is ridiculous. Deserves, obviously, his 1 game ban. If he was to get fined for something as silly, stupid as that, I wouldn't be disheartened by that. I'd be like, teach you a lesson. That then had to make us change how we came out for the second half. Luton, obviously, we're going to have the thing. But the thing that I liked in that second half was that Spurs showed a spine. We showed that doesn't matter because Spurs teams previously would have folded. We didn't. We had to be resolute. We had to defend. Yep, there were problems and Luton were getting at us because we still kept the 4 and we still kept an attacking ethos, which we did. We got the goal. And then obviously Luton were throwing everything at us. They were having chances. But as soon as Ange changed to a back 5 and showed tactical nous in defending, nullified Luton. And then it was quite, when we got the ball up and we kept it away from all that, the rest of the game was quite easy. Was it our best performance of the season? No. But I guarantee if we had been 4-0 up at half time, most people would have been going, oh, fantastic performance. Was everything perfect? No. Was everything made harder because of a silly mistake by Basuma? Absolutely. But I agree with things that I've seen by people saying we were awful against Liverpool. I agree. We got the win, though. For a fair bit of the game against Arsenal, I thought we were good. We've had games where, like the Sheffield United, we came back. Were we sensational? No, but we were caught on another day. We could have been ahead in that game anyway. We just weren't taking our chances. But I'm coming in looking at, I think we're playing good football, but it's only 8 games in. So we will have runs like this where we're not as clinical. If we are smashing teams 8 games in and winning every game 4-5-0 because of this attacking thing, then you're like, damn, that's when you can start saying we're looking serious. But because we're still getting used to it, we still haven't cleared out all the rubbish that ain't going to get us the goals and everything like that. Ham and Alan as well. That was in my comments as well. What I'm saying is that you need to improve this squad still. You need to improve this first 11. Richarlison being the number 1. You need that type of a quality player to come in so that next time we're in that position, they finished it and we're 2-0 up within 5 minutes and everyone's going, oh, this is an easy game. But I think people saying that everything was awful, this was bad, that was bad, I think are going a bit too much the opposite way because we were expecting a 4 or 5-0 that didn't happen. I think it was a good performance in regards to we done everything we did, we just didn't finish. But you can still be good in that aspect, we just didn't finish. And also it was very good in the opposite in the second half where we had to defend and show a spine, which Spurs haven't done for some time. So it weren't perfect, it weren't 9 out of 10 performance by everyone, but I think it was better than what people are giving it credit for.
let me go straight to Kate then, so she can. She's reloaded her pistol. She's ready to go again. By the way, guys and girls, keep liking, keep subscribing. We should be on 250 likes. We're on 148. Smash that like button. And I only need 2 of you to subscribe to get to 11,500. Two. There's 438 of you in here. 2. Kate, you've reloaded. Ready to go?
Yeah. Actually, Alan, that was a much more diplomatic than on your channel yesterday. I thought, when I was listening to you yesterday, I thought we was Man City for a minute, the way you was all gushing about our team. Honestly, I did think, I was laying in bed and I thought, maybe I'm just really miserable, but I'm in a parallel universe here. I thought the performance, I said yesterday, awful. I rewatched the game today, which I always do, to get the emotion out. It wasn't quite as bad as I originally thought. However, I didn't think it was impressive at all. For me, Porro was poor for the most part yesterday. I thought we lost a lot of battles in the air. We gave the ball away in a lot of key areas, whereas if we were against better opposition, they would have really punished us. Saar was better than I saw. I thought after watching it the first time, I thought he was better, but he still gave away the ball a lot. Romero was better than I originally thought in a couple of instances when he ran right the way the length of the pitch. Basuma was an absolute disgrace, but everyone loses their head sometimes. It's just one of those things. It was stupid, but it's done. If Adebayo could finish, we would have lost that game. There's absolutely no doubt in my head. He had so many chances. It's frightening. So that's what I don't get, why people can say we was that good, because really we only came out of that with a win because they were absolutely awful in front of goal. Van der Ven strike was brilliant. So there was good things. There's good things, but I don't want to be all bad, but we're lucky to have scraped another victory. We was lucky against Liverpool. How long can you ride that luck before things start going against you? That's what concerns me. But yeah, it was Porro's sloppy pass. That's right. That got Basuma the first yellow card. But anyway, it was all right. But, for me, it was an average performance, no better than that. But like I say, we got the win.
Yeah, I mean, Haz, let me slightly move. Obviously, we've streamed together twice since then, so I know your view on that. I want to go to this comment. A lot of people send me comments on YouTube. Some are nice. 3 or 4 of them are nice. The other 997 are abusive and, calling my wife, all sorts of things. So, it's all good fun. But what I get more than anything is this is what title-winning teams do. They win when they're not playing well. Now, actually, I'm not going to tell you my opinion on that. What's your opinion of that statement? This is what teams do. They, title-winning teams, when they're not playing well, they still grind out wins.
It just, look, I just think it's all premature. I mean, yes, big teams, when they're not winning well, they find a way. When they're not playing well, they find a way to win the game, etc., etc. I think what you have to address though is the fact that we were really lucky yesterday. Really lucky. They should have had 2 goals. It was clear-cut chances. Similarly, we should have as well. But I just find it all a bit too. It's a bit annoying, if you ask me, because I just want to get to the halfway point of the season before I can say, yeah, we're winning games. We're not playing well, but we're winning games. I can't bring myself to say it after 8 games. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, because if you look at all the teams, right, in the Premier League, no one's really hit full flow, apart from maybe Liverpool. But even Liverpool's had their problems defensively, but no one's really in full flow at the moment. Everyone hitting 5th gear. Everyone's still sort of finding their way. I think once you get to that halfway point, you'll sort of see that the table will sort of start to settle a bit, after the halfway mark. That's when you know who's who and who's going to end up where, roughly. So for me, I just think all this talk of winning games, like whilst we're not playing well, yes, we might have folded last season, we might have folded the season before, but I just think everyone was saying we need to give Ange time. We need to give Ange time to build this squad, to get his philosophy over, this, that, and the other. And I just think people have sort of forgotten about that, man. People are like, oh, we're now the finished product. Like, you know, we're going to win the league. We're winning games without even playing well, this, that, and the other. Well, hold on a minute. We haven't even hit full flow. You see, you watch Ange in his press conferences, right? You know, he's saying he's always saying this is the beginning. This is the beginning of what we're trying to implement. Yeah, he's never saying, yeah, this is us now. We're rearing to go, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's a lot more to come still. There's still players that we need to buy, you know. So, yeah, I just think we just need to stay grounded. That's the word I'm looking for. Is we need to be grounded.
Isn't that the thing, Has that? I mean, like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, whenever Ange joined now, I can't even remember. It was all very much like lots of fans were saying, hang on, like we sold Kane. Where are the goals coming from? Expect a relegation battle. We're going to finish mid-table. Who's going to score the goals? This is going to be a long process. As long as we see some good football, it doesn't matter where we finish in year one. And then within 8 games, it's already gone to respect us more. Respect us more. We're in a title race. And you know, when it's sort of like, I get the fans that are doing that. I get it. Because for me, it's more frustration than anything. For me, it's not really about this season. It's more about how bad it's been. I think Kate alluded to that earlier. It's about how bad it's been for the last 4 or 5 years. But in reality, if anyone else was doing this, if West Ham, yeah, if Villa were doing this after 8 games, we'd all be saying the same thing, wouldn't we? We'd all be going,
yeah, exactly.
Hang on, slow down. Nothing's decided in October. Injuries, small squad. What you're going to do when James Maddison gets injured and blah, blah, blah. But we've kind of gone, oh, well, you know, winning ugly is what champions do. And we've kind of declared ourselves winning ugly champions. I don't know where this has come from.
No, I just think it's the wrong sort of attitude to have. We're not nowhere. Look, we're nowhere near being champions. Put it that way. I'm saying it. We're not. We just haven't got enough about the team at the moment, past the 11 that we put out every week. To be champions, you need to have more than just you know, winning whilst you're not playing well. You need to have the personnel that can come in during those times when you have injuries, during those times when you have suspensions or when other players aren't playing well. You know, if you look at City, you know, City can bring in players when others aren't performing well and they can get over the line. We're not going to be able to do that every game. We might be able to do it with the first 11 where they're having an off day, not playing well, but we still pull it out of the bag. But for those times when we might have a Romero out, a Bissouma out, you know, Sonny, we might have 3-4 players out. What are we going to do then? You know, I just feel like we're you know, we're only talking from experience here. And it's just, are we setting ourselves up for a catastrophic failure? You know, I'm enjoying the ride more than anyone, right? I'm loving the football we're playing every week. When we're on it, we're absolutely amazing to watch. And I like the unpredictable nature of our team at the moment, as in teams don't know what to expect from us. And even we don't know what to expect from the team sometimes. So, yeah, in that sense, I just feel like everyone should just be a little bit more grounded, enjoy the ride, by all means, enjoy it. You know, the manager is doing great stuff at the moment. He seems very well grounded, but at the same time, he himself is trying to say, look, enjoy it, dream, but we still haven't begun the work that is needed to be done with this team.
But isn't that the
it's
problem?
still a long process.
Isn't that the problem that we're kind of having though? Because you're saying Big Ange has said, look, we're not there yet. You know, it's not going to happen yet. It's kind of later on down the line when they've really got him going. But the problem we've got is at the moment that we're not playing particularly well in every game for 90 minutes, but we're still winning. And I think that's the biggest issue we've got at the moment is
the thing for me, though, Marlon, is consistency. Yeah. Would you say we're doing that consistently over a period of 8 games?
Probably, yeah. At the moment, yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going to disagree with you. Sorry.
Because
you can't tell me over 8 games.
Let's take yesterday, right? If we had 3 or 4 chances within the first 5-10 minutes against it, we took them apart. We did. We literally took them apart. If we had finished and then we didn't have someone like Rashad, our front 3 let us down yesterday, and I think that's what the biggest thing right now is. And I think I've heard a lot of people say our front 3 is probably the biggest problem that we're having right now. But Son is still scoring goals for some reason, right? Kulusevski played okay yesterday, but Richarlison and everyone else we've had out there just hasn't done the job. So, yes,
Kulusevski
played all right yesterday. All right. I didn't say he played great. I said he played all right yesterday, right? He didn't. He wasn't that bad, and even a lot. And even Big Ange came out and said afterwards he thought Kulusevski played okay. So I'm only going to take what the manager says at the moment, right? But I think, like you said, if at the present moment we're not even hit third gear, we're not even hit the way Big Ange wants us to play, but yet for some reason we've won 6, drawn 2. So there's going to be a turning point where they are going to start playing Ange's football, and if we keep this format where we're still winning, kind of consistent, well, not consistent, but we're still winning and we're still getting through games, people are going to get excited. I'm not saying we're going to win the league because there's only 2 squads. I think, like you said, there's only 2 squads that could cope with injuries, right? That should be Liverpool and Man City, right? Because if Arsenal get an injury to Saliba, Partey, and whatever, let's see. We saw what happened last year, right? So we're in the same boat. If we get an injury to Romero, Maddison, and Son to a certain extent, the same thing's going to happen to us. Same thing's going to happen to Villa. Same thing's going to happen to Brighton if Matoma gets injured. So everyone's kind of in the same boat. You just have to. And the thing is, everyone's going. Everyone's look. No Spurs fan, realistically, right? No, none of us really think we're going to win the league. We're just saying it I purposely just to pee off everybody else because that's what we're doing.
I don't believe that at this stage.
Come on with it,
I don't believe that, Marlon. There are people.
Marlon, can I just say on that though? All I'm saying is there needs to be more consistency, though. As in, the team needs to prove to me that they can do it over a more consistent period, right? And for me, it's just like 8 games isn't enough for us to qualify as being consistent. For me, consistent is like if we get to the halfway mark, yeah.
But I would say they have been consistent in what they're doing. Because if you look at the last if you look at all the games that we've played, right, there's been a good period, a bad period where we've allowed the team in, and then a good period where we're playing well and we're starting to finish. It's been every game this season. We've actually played pretty much quite similar, apart from probably Burnley.
With the first 11. With the first 11.
But that's all we've got. That's all we've got to go on. We know we could all say that the injuries are all ifs and buts. They might not happen. We don't know they're going to happen. We're saying ifs and buts. So at the end of the day, with our first 11 right now, it is working. It's doing what it needs to do.
I'm going to ask you another question then. When was the last time you saw a team in the Premier League, right, either win it or challenge for a title with just 2 first-team defenders?
Arsenal last year. Saliba and Gabriel, that's all they had. And then once Saliba got injured, look what happened.
Well, proves my point then.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. I
like the way you both use that to prove you. Both of you think it proves both of your points. I like that. Hang on.
but no, you said the title challenge. Arsenal were in one with 2 defenders last year. So yeah, we're going to be in exactly the same boat. Like Romero and I fully well know if one of them gets injured, we are screwed, right? Because it's Eric Dyer to come in. We all know it. He's going to let us down, right? But right now, I am looking at that starting 11, and they're playing every week. Because let's be honest, Maddison and Son are both injured. They are both injured, but they're playing 60 minutes. And
Bissouma's out next week as well. Next game, that's going to be a test, right? Bissouma's out next game. Okay.
Yeah.
More than likely, Højbjerg's going to come in to replace him.
Yep.
Yeah. Can we all agree on that? It's going to be Højbjerg. Let's put it that way. That's going to be a test, like you said. Maddison and Son.
But these are all going to be tests. And
exactly, players might come back injured as well.
But let's take the Luton game yesterday, right? 10 men Spurs last year are losing that game. Full stop. Right? They've come through that. Arsenal going 2-1 down at the Emirates, right? Last year we went and lost it, right? But no, we went and got a draw this year. Liverpool I'm discounting because at the end of the day, everything just went in our favour, right? Sheffield United, 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. These things just weren't happening last year. And you can see where the confidence is slowly coming from, because we're seeing something slightly different to what we had last year. I'm not sitting there saying we're going to win the league, but all of us have gone, actually, top 4. We weren't thinking that a few weeks ago. So something has slightly changed. And that's why we're all feeling a bit positive.
So can I just interject here, and I'll bring Alan in here as well. Look, for me, I think the key thing is, right, I think we've all said, right, if we keep the 11 fit, and I think that's straight away, that's a worry, right? When your sentence is, if we keep an 11 fit.
Of course.
For me, I think as much as it's about keeping the 11 fit, it is the drop-off, like two or three of the key positions. So for me, can we get away with Basuma coming out the team? I reckon, depending on who you're playing, you probably could, because Sarr can step up and Bentancur might be coming back, etc. For me, I think the moment James Maddison is not in that team, I see a complete lack of creativity from anybody else. Like, let's be fair, he's the reason we won that game yesterday.
Of course,
he had that one moment of brilliance and created the goal.
Of course,
You look at Sonny up top. Now, bearing in mind, Sonny, everyone's saying Sonny's having a brilliant season. I think Sonny's had 50-50. If I'm brutally honest, I think Sonny's had 3 games where he scored against teams that don't play a low block, and he's looked great, and that's where you get the best out of him. Then the other games, I think he's done some nice bits, but by and large, they've bypassed him. I think it bypassed him Sheffield United. I think yesterday bypassed him. I think it bypassed him earlier in the season against Brentford. I'm not blaming him, by the way. It's this formation. He's either going to be dynamite or ineffectual. But you take out, not even at once, one of them. You take out, sorry, the third one was going to be Romero or Van der Ven. You take out one of them at the back, and we're all sitting there for 90 minutes going, oh my God, Dyer's playing, right? You take out James Maddison. Every game when James Maddison comes off, you watch how suddenly we can't attack. Right, you watch everything that normally goes through James Maddison, there's no one there to do it. And Sonny, there's no one in behind. Now, I'm not knocking that. We knew that coming into the season. We knew that, but I'm always keeping that just there, and that little bit of grey material in the back of my brain which jots down, hang on, you're one injury away. Now, tell me the truth, Alan. How many times this season so far has Maddison taken a kick, and in the game you've gone, oh my God, please don't be injured. It's like, oh my God, is he going to get up? Right?
Yeah.
That's what tells me we're not anywhere near a title race, because these 3, that is Tottenham for me.
I mean, you can even go as far as to put probably Vicario in there as well, because Fraser Forster isn't the answer. So, like the whole spine, which is obviously, this is why people are saying, look, this is why I agree. Title race talk this early, considering what we've got to come in, is thing like the thing I wanted to bring up, and people's like, is this sustainable, like this type of football, like, because we're not taking our chances? It is, and it is for this reason, in the fact that you look back to what we were doing under Conte, we were massively overperforming for the chances we were getting. Under Ange, we are getting so many more chances, but underperforming in taking the chances. When that clicks, and if we get better in that, that's only going to stand Spurs in good stead moving forward. Now, not every game you're going to be finishing like that, but when people are going, oh, but this, is it sustainable? I think it is, this type of football, because we've seen, like I said, because of those 2 scenarios. But again, I completely agree. You take out Son, you take out Maddison, you take out Basuma for a consistent period, you take out Van der Ven or Romero and Vicario, I think you have a massively weakened team. Can anyone step up and fill in that void? So far, you'd say no, because people that have come in when players have been subbed, you look at the Arsenal game. As soon as you took Richarlison and Maddison off, there was nothing from Spurs. No attacking intent, no nothing. When the game was there for me to be won before they came off, that's the drop-off. So, but people were using that as a stick to beat this team with, or beat Spurs with. We know we've got to make wholesale changes. It weren't going to be done in one window. Sure. It's going to be done 2 seasons. So, but there's people in the comments I see going, is it sustainable? Oh, will the ball do it? Look, we can only go by what, and the board have let us down so many times. We can only go based on what we've seen under this manager in his first window. And this first window, it looks like they're giving Ange the right players for how he wants to play. If this continues, then good. But we can only wait and see if it does. If we get to January and we go, Ange goes, well, I need this person, that person. They go, oh, we'll get you somebody on loan with an option to buy it, and do typical Spurs stuff. Then we'll be like, shit, we're straight back where we were, and where it's history repeating itself. But we won't know until it happens. So people just not liking how Spurs are playing football, or the different philosophy in playing football, or the more chances we're creating, and just go, yeah, but it's not going to happen because of the ball. We don't know until we get there. So enjoy the football, enjoy what we're seeing, because it's a good start. But I just, I hate this board. I hate this owner for everything they've done, not footballing wise for this club. But to just be negative for negative sake for some people in the comments, it's just get a life. You know, you can.
Isn't it more than that though? More than that, Kate. Let me bring you in here. More than that, isn't it? People being cautious. You know, we are a club. You've got to remember, we are a club that haven't won a trophy for 15 years. This season will be 16 if we don't win the FA Cup, right? Or the league. 16. It will be 16, right? Right. So for a club that haven't won a trophy for 16 years, and a club that hasn't won a league title since 1961, I feel that when people are calling others negative, like honestly, I'll say it and I'll speak to him later about this. I just watched like Dave, the Irish Hotspur guy, and the only reason Spurs fans are saying we can't win the title is because of Jamie Carragher's not saying it. Well, no, I'm not listening to Jamie. If Jamie Carragher says Spurs are going to win a title, I don't suddenly go, oh, yeah, we're winning a title. I don't do that. I just think at the end of the day, yeah, Arsenal don't look world beaters. Man City don't look world beaters. I don't think we look world beaters. Liverpool don't look world beaters. But you know what? It doesn't matter who looks like a world beater in October. It matters about who looks a world beater the turn of the year when you go in, we got 15 games here, win 12 of them, you win the league. That's where City, that's where Liverpool, that's where the Uniteds, the Chelseas, when they've won it, this is where they've won titles, Kate. It's not October. So do you get why some people are really cautious with it? Like me, I'll throw my hat in there. I am so cautious with this because I'm not 12. I've seen this before many, many, many times. And people, sorry, I'm going to rant now. People can tell me, but it's different with Ange. Cool. Love Ange. My gripe isn't with Ange. My gripe is take Sonny away. I don't trust Kulu to get 10 goals this season. I don't trust Solomon to get 10. I don't trust Valise to get 10. I don't trust Richarlison to get 4, right? That's what you're playing with. So do you understand why people are cautious? And do you just think everyone needs to just kind of go, right, doing well, let's see where we are come the end of December, where we've played 7 games in that month?
Look, I get it. I had this discussion with Jim tonight because he said, you know, you're too worried about what's happened in the past. You know, you've got to live for the moment. Who's to say we can't win the league? Who's to say we won't beat Man City? And I said to him, what you've got to understand, it's like you've been with, it's like I've been with 5 boyfriends and every one of them has cheated on me. By the time I get to the 6th, I'm going to automatically think they're going to cheat on me.
Right.
And this is the same thing, right? Levy never puts his hand...
Let that be a warning, Jim. Let that be a warning, all right?
Yeah, watch yourself. This is 23 years, is it, of Daniel Levy? If people haven't learned by now that he isn't going to go out in the January window and spend 200 million, you know, yes, they'll say, oh, he's learned his lesson, or, oh, it's different with Ange, and Ange won't stand for him not backing him. He's an employee of the club. He does what he is told. You know, it's not because he's a weak man. It's not because he's a yes man. It's because that's his job. So I get it. And I love it that so many people really believe that we're going to win the title. You know, if that's, you know, we could all get hit by a bus tomorrow. So if you want to live your life like that, it's brilliant. I'm not that sort of person, unfortunately. Jim is. He's the eternal optimist. Conte came in.
Is it optimism? Kate, I'm going to ask you, sorry, I want to cut off there. I love it. When people tell me you need to be more optimistic, for me, this isn't about optimism or pessimism. For me, this is about reality. This is about me looking at that. I watched that Spurs team play. Are we a good team? Yeah. We're a good team, right? Good. We're not excellent. We're not the finished article. We've got a very weak attack, if I'm brutally honest. I know we've scored goals, but I think Sonny, sure, I'm not bringing him into this before people have a go. I'm not bringing Sonny into this. I look all around that and go, I don't trust this attack. And I can't think of anybody who's won the title, or been in title races without goal scorers. Plenty of goal scorers. Anyone can challenge me if they like, but you look down the years, whether it's a bloke who's getting 30 and everyone else getting 10, whether it's 4 or 5 of them getting 10 to 15, there hasn't been a club that's done it without that. So this whole, I'm an optimist. Oh, you're a pessimist. For me, this doesn't make sense. It's about reality. It's about facts. This squad is we're a James Maddison injury away from no creation and a Van de Ven or Romero injury away from Eric Dyer playing for the rest of the season. So I don't think it is pessimism or optimism. For me, I think it's a more mature outlook of it is what it is.
I think, you know what though, Sava, I think there's no such thing as that anymore in this day and age, particularly in YouTube land. You are either really positive or you're really negative. You can't just be, oh, well, I'm just going to, go with the flow and, be realistic. I think you have to literally be one or the other. And if you're not overtly positive and sitting here saying, everything's great, we look amazing, we're so much better without Harry Kane, Ange's the man, we're going to win the league, then automatically you are put in the negative bracket. Yeah. But my point was that Jim honestly does believe every time we get a new manager that this will be different this year. And I think, he's older than me and yet he still hasn't learned that Levy just doesn't put his hand in his pocket. And all these people that are saying we're going to win the league, if we suddenly had a terrible run of 8 games and lost 8 games in a row because we had some injuries, say, they will probably be the same fans who will be calling for Angie's head. This is the thing. There's no consistency at all. It's one extreme to the other. There's just never a level head.
There isn't. I mean, look, I want to ask you, one of the key things about this more than anything, and I'll bring in the 2 Southview Coys boys. By the way, come on, let's get 50 more likes, get this to 250. And come on, I mean, we cannot get 2 more subscribers. I've never known anything like it. Boys, Southview Coys boys, right? All I keep hearing from people, I don't know, Levy's learnt now. Levy's changed. I'm still looking at it going, okay, well, when you look at what he done in the window, right? Yeah, all right. James Maddison, you got him when he had a year left. Solomon was on a free. Brennan Johnson, we don't know. Like, Brennan Johnson's an okay player, but let's be brutally honest, no one at the beginning of the window went, you know what, that's what we need. Vicario, I'm not knocking him, he's a brilliant keeper. We got him because he was cheap. Has Levy changed, boys? Is he going to go and back this manager in January? And if so, why is there this belief that Levy has changed? When Kate's right, it's 23 years of evidence.
I'm going to refer you to Joseph Tyler in the chat. And he said Spurs were in a similar position under Mourinho before Xmas, then ends up getting sacked days before League Cup final. So fans need to take each game at a time. Proof is in the pudding, isn't it? I mean, we base everything off previous experiences with the ownership and everything else. So I don't know. The proof is in the pudding. If we get to January and we're in a good position, and the manager says I want X, Y, Z players, and then they bring them in, and we end up having a really good run, then I'd say maybe they've changed a bit. But how long has it been, Sava? It's been what? Since you won a trophy?
15 years.
It'll be 16 years if we've done it this year.
It'll be 16 years we haven't won a trophy. 16 years. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what you think, Marlon, but...
No. Actually, I agree. Look, when it comes to Levy, I do agree. And when it comes to January, I was quite funny. We were discussing this yesterday after the match reaction. And I asked the guys on there, right, because they were kind of feeling exactly the same. I said, but hold on, who are you expecting to come in January? Like, what players are going to, like, Warren Ivan, like I said, Ivan Toney theoretically might come because of the football we're playing, but we're going to have to spend big money. But we're looking at the players that are going to be, like, most players that move in January are players in the last 6 months of their contract, or players who want to play first team football. So you got to go and buy a Bentancur or Kulu who not been starting every week. So we have to be shrewd. And the problem we've got is, as I do agree with you lot, is if we're in a title race, we're not going to get that sort of player in January. Spurs are just not going to do it. Levy's never done it. Why? It's never going to change now. We just got lucky with Bentancur and Kulu in that January, right? And even then, you think actually Kulu's form last season and a bit this year, he's not been the same one. Bentancur's obviously going to be back. He's going to hopefully be like a new signing, but he's got time. His injury, has got to. His injuries, obviously, he's got to play through his injury. So it's all ifs and buts, and that's what it is at the moment. We have got to be so lucky if we're going to be in a title race. And I just think after that game against Liverpool, I think everyone kind of went, well, our luck's in, right? And that's why we're just, what? I know there's this part here. As Sava said, there's this part here that's telling me injuries, but I don't want to think about that. All right, I'm prepared for that. I've prepared myself for when that happens. So I'm just going to enjoy the moment now. Why I can, because I've had 5 years of Daniel Levy messing up. He's got a manager that's coming, and I still think, to be honest, I still think Andrew's got he had one hand tied behind his back with the whole Kane saga in the summer, selling him last minute, not getting another striker in. Apparently, that's what he wanted. He wanted another defender. So he hasn't even got all the players he wants. But look how well he's doing with all of that.
Hang on, can I just throw an opposing view? I just want to drop this in and then drop out again. I don't want to be too involved tonight. But if we're led to believe it wasn't chucked at him last minute, they've all basically said this was happening, right? I think Spurs fans use this narrative that, oh my God, at the very last minute, Harry Kane went. They knew. Postecoglou said the first conversation he had with Harry Kane was very much, look, I want to leave.
No. So what I meant by that was, sorry, I should have said like last minute. My words were probably tripped up then. But he had that whole saga, every press conference he was going into. Right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And that's disruptive on his part, right? Because it might have worked in a positive light, but every single press conference he was going into, what's happening with Kane? What's happening with Kane? And you don't really, like when a new manager comes into a club, you don't really want every second and every question just being the exact same thing. That's what I meant by that. Yeah, I get what you mean. Because he knew about Lloris as well. He knew that Lloris didn't want to be first team goalkeeper as soon as he walked through the door. And Harry Kane told him on the Tuesday that he got back, he doesn't want to be at Spurs. So he knew all that, but it was just more the media and the way everything then, went around it. And I just didn't think that was fair on him. Right, he knew it was coming, but I just didn't think it was fair coming into a club, and that's what you've got to deal with straight away. That's what I meant by that. But I agree with you. That's what
Marlon makes a great point, because we're talking about this whole, like one of the things I said when the window shut was, for me, I do think what we will regret is definitely not bringing in a striker and definitely not bringing in a centre half. They were the two big ones for me. Right now, look, I've got nothing against Brennan Johnson. I'm sure he could be a very good player for Tottenham. For me, that 45 million, whatever it spent, for me, that would have been on a striker. I don't know. They're saying that Ange didn't want one. I fail to believe that in any way, shape or form. I'm sorry. He's seen these players. We've seen these players. I fail to believe he did not want anybody else capable of scoring 15, 20 goals. I don't believe that. Also, the centre-half position. Now, the interesting point you made, Marlon, was, okay, who do you get in January? Which is why I think it was a massive mistake not to do it in the summer, because in January, I make you right. If teams are flying high and you're in that team and you're challenging for titles and Champions Leagues and cups, why do you jump ship in January? But I'm gonna bring you all into this. Equally, what we've got to remember as well, and this, I'm just playing devil's advocate. This is worst case scenario. One, we don't know how Bentancur's coming back. People can say all they like. Bentancur's brilliant. He's coming. We don't know what Bentancur we're getting. 9-month injuries have ruined players in the past, right? That speed of fault, that worry about going in for a tackle. Do I run at full pelt with the ball, or am I worried about the injury coming back? 2, you've got Sonny going to the Asian Cup. You've got Basuma and Sarr going to the African Nations Cup. Suspensions, injuries. This is what I'm saying. So when people tell me why not a title challenge, we could get to January. Worst case scenario, we could get to January and all of a sudden those 3 have gone off to do their thing. Maddison could be injured, Romero suspended, and all of a sudden you're patching up your team with Ben Davies, Ashley Phillips. Your front three is Brian Hill, Valise, and Cool. Do you see what I mean? And that is why the one part of me, I'll start with you, Alan. That's the one part of me that goes, all right, let's wait and see what we do. Let's wait and see to January. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. I am enjoying it, but I'm old. I'm experienced. It's not my first time watching Tottenham Hotspur in a season.
No, look, this is why I'm saying we're not in a title race, because I can see that coming down the line as well. But at the same time, whereas I know others are, and like, I'm not saying anyone here, but there are people in the comments that are seeing wins and stuff like that and going, yeah, but like, and just throwing like negatives out for negative sake. This is who I was addressing in the comments. But like, look, we know that this could happen, but what I'm saying is in regards to people saying, oh, but we've known these owners before. Look, I hate these owners, but when I'm saying about what they've done for Ange this so far in the summer, and as long as they maintain it, it's good. In the fact that everyone that's been bought has been played, apart from Phillips being the anomaly. Brendan Johnson came in. Was he was he the one that people wanted? Like, straight away, he came straight in and played in North London Derby. Because of his injury, he hasn't played. Everyone that's been bought has gone in, and apart from Phillips, who you could go through the U setup, has come in and played and been prominent for Ange. So it looks like they've been bought for him. Whereas previous seasons, you've had Mourinho, who said he didn't want Bergwijn. You had Conte, who didn't want Basim, who couldn't work out his system, and he didn't want Jed Spence. Obviously, Nuno, nobody wanted Nuno. We're not going to include him. But this is what I'm saying. So for the people to come in and be the core part of what Ange is doing, Byron Phillips, it shows that for me, they're trying to do the right thing. And I can only judge based on what's happening now. If they don't do that in the January and we get to the point where it doesn't happen, then again, I'll be like, same old stuff. But this is why Spurs won't ever kick on, because as good as they try and do it at certain points, they don't see it through. Don't have to go out and spend 200 million. 2 players that will fit the system, that will come in and do a job, or bridge the gap, or fit in the right holes, for why people are away and all that, that will then add depth to the bench, is what Spurs need at this point. We won't go out and never spend 200 million, 250 in January. It doesn't happen. Not many teams do. This is me. Look, I can't stand these owners, but I'm trying to be realistic. Whereas people are being realistic in why we won't win a league, and I agree. And we're not in a title race. I'm also trying to be realistic in the fact of the way I'm seeing things from start to finish under Ange. And again, I'm here for it. It's as simple as that. And people were obviously saying the options, Philly, again, you're literally trying too hard, Philly, in the comments. The options were poor. Alan, no real competition for places. Ange had little choice, really. Okay, he had little choice, really. But again, you put that many newbies into a team and go, here you go, deal with that and all that, and it doesn't work. They went in, they played. Again, people saying he had no real choice and all that, but Brendan Johnson didn't have to come in and straight play on the wing, because the people up front, especially after the Burnley game where they were creating loads of space and showed that how fluid they were up top, he didn't have to make a change like that, but he did. Again, Philly, you're just one of them people that just find negative things for negative. It's just, and no, take a day off. It's good. It's all right, mate. Take a day off. It's fine. It's all right. We move. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, Alan waging a war against. I mean, I haven't picked on anyone in the chat tonight. It's the first time in about 6 months.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Just letting Alan do it.
I'm
trying a new sensible approach. By the way, 2 subscribers. I cannot believe.
Come on, 2.
I can't believe it. Marlon Has will tell you, right? I've been trying to get over 11,500 for 7 days now. Within 10 of it. And I can't get 2 people to go and smash that subscribe button. But they keep coming back and watching.
Look, I'll just say, David Clark in the chat, usually like you come out with some really good stuff. You know your stuff, by the way, and I appreciate your comments. But to say that, we're moaning and stuff, it's all we're trying to do is David Clark at 1019. I know David Clark from some of our shows as well. And David makes some really good points sometimes, most of the time anyway.
Don't slag him off.
No. I'm not going to slag off, David. I'm not going to slag off David.
I'm joking. So
I'm not ever going to slag off David because I actually like David. He makes a lot of good points a lot of the times. But I just wanted to explain more than anything else is that we're just trying to have a debate. It's not about us not enjoying it. We are thoroughly enjoying what we're seeing at the moment, you know, the style of football, everything else that we've mentioned before. But it's a debate. You know, we want to debate stuff at the same time. You know, it's not about, you know, picking holes and moaning and moaning and moaning. It's not moaning. It's just basically, you know, having a debate on what we need to do. Can we achieve what we want to achieve? This, that, and the other. There wouldn't be a show if we didn't debate, David. That's the whole point of it. You know, so
well, you saw how I started the show, the
exactly.
problem is I like David Clark, but the problem is, you know, when I sarcastically started the show with, right, hello everyone, it's going to be a 60-second show, everything's great, there's nothing to debate, good night, thanks for joining. That's what people like David Clark want. I feel it's really disingenuous to sit here and just go, oh my God, everything's amazing. It's not. We're going like that. I've said many, Kate, you string me loads at you. I've said we're going like that, right? Which is great. That's all I've ever wanted. Some Spurs fans, though, think we're doing that. And it's like, okay, I'll tell you what I need to join that rocket that's going up there. I need a bigger sample size than 8 games. Can we at least play everyone? You know, we still haven't played Newcastle, which will be a tough game. Do you
know what? That's quite funny because Newcastle, I think, will be our toughest. Newcastle and I forgot
West Ham.
No, not
Brighton
West Ham.
are going to be tough.
Brighton, I think we always cope with. But I think Newcastle and the way they play are going to exploit us. I really do.
Yeah, but the thing is, Marlon, don't forget we normally do well against teams like Brighton because we sit back and counter.
Well, this is what that's my only worry this year.
my worry this year is that probably some of the games that we would have won last year will be tougher. We've seen it already.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, right? All of a sudden now, we're not the counter-attacking team. We're the team that are going to peg you in your own half. We've got to break you down. Sheffield United, Luton, Brentford, Bournemouth for a long period of the game was a tough game as well. The Brightons I think the Brightons, the Man Cities, I think these teams will want to play us now. Not saying that they're going to disrespect us, but they'll think, oh, hang on, Spurs are going to come out. Spurs are going to play football against us. We're going to leave gaps. Now, we have done, and at the risk of being told off by David Clark, but some of the gaps we're leaving at the back, better teams will expose. Liverpool, for example, let's be brutally honest, right? Liverpool were exposing those gaps every single time they went forward with 11 and with 10.
11.5, by the way. Well done.
By the way, Arsenal, not a very good team then. They couldn't exploit us.
well, you say that. Let's be fair. If it had been for better finishing in the whole game that fans play, like let's be fair, we could all play this game. If we had finished our chances in the first 10 minutes against Luton,
Of course, yeah.
You could, if you wanted to be brutally honest, you could go back to the Arsenal game and go, well, hang on. If Jesus rattled in a shot from 12 yards, which all he had to do was put his boot over it, that's now. So ifs, buts, maybes, all of that kind of stuff is fine. But for me, I just think these teams that I think we've thoroughly enjoyed playing against, this won't be the same playing Man City. This won't be the same because normally we sit there and go on, break us down. Go on, pass in front of us, break us down. We'll not leave you any room. Now you're going to have, hang on. Look what Adebayo and Morris gave Van der Ven and Romero a battle, right? Erling Haaland will give them a battle. Yeah. Alvarez will give them a battle. So I think, as what my point of this was, can we wait past 8 games? Can we wait maybe till we're played everybody? Yeah. Till we've gone to places like Villa Park, St. James's Park. Let's see how we've got on because realistically, away, the only test we've had realistically away is Arsenal. Now, and that's great. You raised it for a North London derby. Villa Park won't be easy. They just dispatched Brighton 6-1 at Villa Park. Newcastle
West Ham won't be easy.
West Ham won't be easy. Brighton won't be easy at their own ground, right? So, still got to play Chelsea, who are just starting to get a little bit of rhythm and don't concede goals. Chelsea are not conceding goals for as bad as they've been. So
I've got a feeling that's going to be our first defeat. I've got a strange feeling that's going to be the one. Poch is going to come back and take 3 points. It's typical Spurs way. And I think that's when reality is going to hit for us.
I'm trying not to bite, but I've got to at this. I think there's a huge difference, David Clark. There's a difference with Man City not panicking because Man City have got a really good squad. I don't think Man City struggled today because they had some players out. They had most of their players in there today. They just didn't play well. Spurs, when we have a couple of players out, we won't be chucking in players like Kovacic and Alvarez and Doku. We'll be chucking in Skip and Dyer, right? So you know, I just feel we need to just
put things into context a bit. I think.
Yeah, just
get the
all
picture up.
context.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a quick question to all of you, just quickly? With our starting 11, where do you see it against the other sides in the league right now? Just as a starting 11, because yeah, we could talk about injuries and whatnot, but where do you see? Are we a top 4 starting 11 side, or are we a top 6, top 8? Like compared to Villa, Brighton, Newcastle, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, where do you see it? And are we just? My next question is: are we just a front 3 away from being able to compete with the likes of Liverpool and all those as well?
Can I give my quick answer and then I'll go round to Alan and we'll go round?
Yeah.
Just let me give my really quick answer. I was watching the Liverpool-Brighton game with a friend of mine today, and I said, putting the squad aside, because I still think it doesn't matter what you do to that first 11, you've got to have a squad. Yeah. But if we were going to go by just 11, like it used to be in football, I said to my friend today, take Liverpool's 2 wide men.
Yeah,
we're in a title charge. That for me, I like the back 4.
Yeah,
I like the midfield 3. Plus, you've got Bentancur. For me, I think that front 3 from again only me, Marlon. I can only speak for Richard.
That's why I'm asking the question. Yeah.
I think if you chucked Salah and I know it's easier said than done. Salah and Diaz, or Martinelli and Saka, or Diaby and Zaniolo. I think if you added 2 proper wide men, Bernardo Silva and Foden, to that front 3 with Son, I then think we're a serious threat. For me, I don't see enough threat from Kulu, Solomon, Brennan Johnson, Richarlison, Brian Hill. I don't see enough from any of them that makes me think we're serious. That's just me. Before anyone has a go at me, Alan.
Great, no, that's a great point.
I'm gonna have a go at
stay the same, so I don't look negative.
No, I'm gonna have a go at Savage. No, Joey. No, look, it's a very broad question you've asked because people could say, well, based on names, this one, based on the team we've seen, this one. So I can only go based on what I've seen. Look, Spurs are only 8 games in, so from what you've seen of us, I would put us top 5, maybe top 4. Like you say, I agree to a point that better quality wingers definitely would make that team pop. You've got a good back line. People could argue that you'd also take out a right back if you're going to take Porro out because stuff. Although I think he's performed much better recently.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's improving. Look, I think we're up there definitely, but it's not just based on because loads of different things and scenarios happen in games. All we can do is based on what the team, based on what we're seeing this season, adversity that we've come up against so far in regards to going behind twice at the Emirates, being down to 10 men for a whole second half, even the Liverpool game, that everything went our way, so I'm not going to do that. But the fighting to death and all that, the team we've got for the scenarios we've been in, we're passing the test that we're coming up against. That's all I can say. And for me, that's what I'm liking. So player for player wise, you got teams with bigger names, teams that have been in the system longer than we have. But with Spurs, I'm seeing something that I haven't seen so far, for so long. And that's a quality team with a fighting spirit, we don't give up until the last whistle, which for me, that's what I'm here for. But I reckon, 2 or 3 quality players away from, I'd say, comfortably sitting on there and saying, well, I think we should be challenging. But that's why I'm saying I think 6.
It'd be interesting to get the chat's take on this as well. Yeah, Kate?
Yeah. Just Kate, before we do get the chat take and before we get Kate's take, I just want to bring...
Sorry.
I just want to bring one thing. It's comments like this where I just think, I'm going to stay calm with this, but I just seem to think that someone like Christie isn't listening. He says, sorry, Sava, but Anne said I want our fans to be happy and positive. So stop telling the fan base not to be over the top. I don't believe anyone here. I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, panel, please. I've not said to anyone how to feel. I've caveated everything I've said with me, right? Me. My opinion is I don't go over the top. I've not told anyone in this chat to do anything. Go out there, knock yourselves out, believe, enjoy, talk about titles, go and wind your mates up about titles, have those laughs, get berated when it doesn't happen. Cool, go for it. Yeah. But it's the last bit which I just can't. And you can stay being negative. I started this show by saying I think we will finish 4th now. From where we were last season,
it's positive, yeah.
I don't know what's negative about me thinking we'll finish 4th. Is it negative? I don't think we'll win the league. How have we got to the point so quickly, guys and girls? How have we got to the point so quickly where a Tottenham fan doesn't think we're in a title race and winning a league, and they're called negative by another Tottenham fan? I'll ask you one question. If Spurs aren't in a title race, so come January, February, March, if we're not anywhere near Man City, Liverpool, whoever's up there, are you going to come back on and say, sorry, I called you negative? You were actually just being sensible and what you've said has happened? Or am I just negative because you say I am? I don't know what I've been negative about when I've predicted 4th. I'm not sure. I don't genuinely, I'm not upset. I'm not annoyed. I'm not angry. I just don't understand from everything I've said tonight how this is the comment. I don't know.
But to be fair, Sava, just to go and agree with you, you just said that we're only 2 winners away, 2 classy winners away. You like our defense, you like our goalkeeper, you like our midfield. I'm sorry, but after everything you said, that is positive. So
I can't believe it. Yeah, I've literally said I think we'll finish 4th. And if you gave us Liverpool's wingers, I think we're in a title race. And it's like, please stop moaning. Like, I don't. Who's moaned? We're all saying, what do we need to get to the title race? What do we need? I'm really struggling with YouTube lately. That this microphone of lies. I say something, it says something different into the thing. I'm really happy with what's going on at Spurs. I am. I just don't think title races are born in. As I said, I'll speak to Irish Dave about this afterwards. I watched his show earlier and I heard him say the words title race about 15 times. He kept saying, if we're going to stay in this title race, I don't know about you lot. I've never known a title race that begins in October. I've never, ever known anyone talk about title challenges in October. I don't know what don't know what we're doing here.
Like someone mentioned before as well, like we were here with Mourinho as well. We was top of the league and everything else, and then after Christmas, the wheels fell off. He got sacked before a cup final, and then we all know how that season ended. So, history, we can only go by what history dictates at the moment, and what history dictates is that we climax too quick, and then it's just egg on our faces. That's what it is.
Sometimes climaxing too quick ain't a negative way. Sometimes it's positive.
Well, Marlon, you speak for yourself, bro.
Hey, some of these women went over done quickly, mate.
No, they just tell you that after they really honestly don't, Marlon, honestly.
I'm just so
no. What I'm saying, I don't want this whole experience to be sort of anticlimactic. If it's going to be like that, then it's going to be like that. But I just want us to be like, whatever the outcome, if we end up, if it all ends up going pear-shaped, I don't want everyone to be like, oh, same old Tottenham again. I just want us to be like, well, actually, we're building something. We've seen all the good bits, and we just need to iron out the bad bits. And that's all I'm saying, Do
you know what? For me, everyone on this panel is just loving life at the minute. But what is the point of us all coming on and just saying, oh my God, can you believe we're top of the league? We're going to win the league. It's just great. I don't understand what.
Let's go.
Exactly. What a pointless show. And all it would do is in 3 months' time, all it would give everyone that's watching is the chance to come back and go, you're all in the mud because you ain't going to win the league. We're just basically explaining, everything's brilliant. Everything's going far better than any of us thought. And Ange is 1,000,000% the man. We all back him 1,000,000%. But we're just trying to say this is the start of the rebuild because he's over exceeding expectations. other fans' expectations are going through the roof, which isn't fair, really, on Ange. I know it's not affecting him directly, but the pressure on Ange will then be, was my point, if we lose 8 games in a row, because everybody's built this guy up now and built this team up to be so magnificent, if we lose 8 games in a row, you'll all be calling for Ange's head. We're just trying to be level.
But even
we're all enjoying
it. Look at these 3 comments in a row. I'm so confused as to what we've said that's negative today. You've got David Clark, who's quickly turning into a real dick, if I'm brutally honest, saying you lot would be fun. You lot would be fun at a funeral. Like, I don't know what I meant to say to this. Chris D said every team, if they lose their Madisons, we have a team as a manager who's had one. Chris, that's my point. We've had a manager who's had one window. So that's why I keep my feet on the floor. This isn't a manager where we say this guy's had 3 or 4 windows now. Like, this isn't Ten Hag that's now 18 months into his tenure and the Man U fans are annoyed at him. You know, and then this last one's like, it's always something to moan. I don't think anyone's moaned about anything. I think we're talking about
just the debate. Honestly, Ken. Honestly,
I'm so confused with YouTube. Like, honestly, I'm really confused. Everyone's talking positive about what a great start it's been. It's going really well. But we're saying, okay, are we in a title race? What needs to happen if we're going to be in a title race? What do we need to buy? And it's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Can I just say, everyone was saying last season, right? Oh, look at these Arsenal fans going on like they're going to win the league. When they were in a title race, right? When they were in a title race, and everyone was like, oh, look, it's ludicrous. They're talking about being in a title race with City. But now, everyone's doing it. With 7-8 games in. Come on now. Come on.
Not only that.
Come on.
Sorry, Haz. I was going to say half the fan base, when Postecoglou come in, they were like, right, this guy's great, but we've got to give him time. You know, he needs to build a project. Like I say, because he's done so well at the start, everyone just seems to be jumping the gun. What the chat's got to understand is we are all over the moon. Exactly. Right?
Exactly.
But the old, you know, we're all older than 23 years old. That's all I'm going to say. So we've all seen Levy for the last 23 years and what he does. So we're discussing purely what he can do to help Ange achieve these goals. Yeah. No one's saying we're never going to win the league. We're never going to win a cup. We're just trying to discuss how we can get to the next level. It's not negative. I mean, we can all get up and dance if you want. If you want to see how happy we are, I'm quite happy to dance and sing. I'm actually quite a good singer, I'll have you know. Just saying that.
I thought tonight we'd had a really nice conversation about football and stuff, and then you just get 2 or 3 like this Dave Clark guy, like even Ellie. I'm going to call Ellie out here if I'm brutally honest. No one said there's anything wrong with being positive, but as I explained earlier in the show, there's a difference between being positive and just saying we're going to win without merit. To win a title, you've got to see that you can go 38 games. We've not seen that ever from these players. We've not seen that from this manager in the Premier League. We've seen our depth. I'm just keeping my feet on the ground. Listen, when we come back from the international duty, beat Fulham, then beat Palace, then see where we are. Then we've got 7 games. We've got 7 games in December with this 11. Now, bearing in mind at the moment, this 11 are playing every sort of 7 or 8 days. All right? Let's see when they're playing every 3 or 4 days and Sonny and Maddison are playing with their knocks. And now they can't do the 60 minutes and then get taken off. I don't understand what people want anymore. I'm just really...
say these same debates were happening on TalkSport. Sorry, Alan. I'll just say what I've got to say quickly. These same debates were happening on TalkSport today, yesterday, on other media outlets, but no one bats an eyelid, like, you know, because they're debating it. But why is it a big problem when we debate it here? I don't get it.
I don't know.
It's all right for other outlets and stuff to debate it because that's TalkSport or whatever, but because we actually support Spurs and we're debating it, it's a problem. But it is what it is. Sorry, Alan, I'll bring you in, mate. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I saw a comment. I can't remember what I saw it now saying that fans like David are realists and all that. But here you go. So Ange Postecoglou says Spurs supporters like David are realists, not negative. But hold on. How can they not be realists when we know in regards to being real with Spurs fans is that it's always, always been let down by something. It's always look as Spurs fans under Daniel Levy and all that. It's always so close, but yet so far. We won one trophy in their tenureship and all that. So when we're like, we're not getting carried away, we're doing well. We're not getting carried away. That's more real than somebody going, oh, you got to, challenge for a title. You got to be happy regardless of all that. No negative thoughts and all that. No, realist is what we're doing because, and this is weird thing. I don't like to make it us or against you and all that, but you guys are doing it in the comments because everyone's allowed an opinion, but you're basically sitting here saying we can't have our opinions. We've got to think like you. And that's not the way to get everyone on the same page. Not at all.
But do you know what? I'm going to sit there and say, I don't think anybody's actually being negative because actually Kate made a really great point. She said, Anne just said, we've got to keep our feet on the ground. He hasn't even got to what he wants, right? But you've all said, right? Even you negative people have said, but actually, I'm now thinking about top 4. That is a positive step that Andrew's given you and shown you in 8 games that you now think, no, I'm not going to finish 8th. I think we're going to finish top 4. Yeah, you won't say title. Yeah, you'll think at the end, but actually you're being so positive in what's happening around Spurs, right? And actually you've all got smiles on your faces and everything like that. I just think it's just between 1 and 4th, we're all in the same boat. We all actually think we're going to get Champions League football. Like everybody's on that train. Go on.
Can I just say, like, it's like this. I feel like I'm not telling anyone how they should support the club. Anyone, I've said this a million times, has probably, and Kate is so bored of me saying this. Anyone go and support how they want. If anything, it's everyone in the chat telling me how to support the club. Like, look at this. I hate it when fans police other fans. No, crack on. Crack on. If you think we're going to win a league, I've got no problem with that. But don't call me negative because I don't think we're going to win a league. Like, why keep your feet on the floor? It's 8 games. Like, it's 8 games. I was saying this to Arsenal fans up until about game 30 last year. Up until game 30, I don't know if any of you remember, I went on to the football terrace and I made a £1,000 bet with someone, right? That Arsenal would not win the league and they were like 8 points clear or whatever. And everyone was going, you're mental, you're crazy. I said, no, because the Premier League is not played over 8 games. It's not played over 16. It's not played over 32. You have to get to that end line, right? For me, let's get to 20 games in. Where are we? 20 games in, this team has ridden a storm. Yeah, we've played 7 games in December. We've got injuries and we're coping with those and suspensions and we're coping with those. I'll turn around and go, oh, okay, cool. Now you're in a title race. But after 8 games, people saying, why keep your feet on the floor when we are doing it good? Am I afraid of something? No, I'm realistic. I'm not afraid of anything. But when the last thing I said is I'm just so confused. I feel so down about, honestly, guys, you all know how I felt about streaming lately. I feel so down about YouTube lately because I feel like I come on and say, I think we're going to get 4th. Yeah, you're negative. It's like, what do we need to get better, Marlon asked me. I think we need 2 top wingers. You're negative. It's like, what can I do? I don't know. Am I meant to just sit here and go, we will win the league. We can win the league. If I don't believe it. If I don't believe it, I can't say it. Wouldn't that be really disingenuous? Or do you want YouTubers that are clickbait? Do you just want the YouTubers that are telling you, the same YouTubers, by the way, that in the summer were saying that we were going to be in the bottom half because we haven't got Harry Kane? The same YouTubers that were saying, oh my God, I can't believe Sava's so calm about Harry Kane leaving. Cool. I was that guy. I was the one saying, I don't mind if Harry Kane goes. I think we're going to be all right. And I was told then, oh, you're an idiot. You don't get it. No, I don't know what I'm actually meant to do. And Billy, listen, I will start blocking you, mate. I'm not pessimistic. I think we're going to finish 4th. Is that we finished 8th last year? Isn't 4th positive? Has Kate, Allen, Mark? Isn't me saying I think we're going to finish 4th?
I've said all show that you saying we're going to finish 4th, and mostly everyone saying we're going to finish in top 4 is so like it's the most positive thing that anyone can say because realistically, like we could go back to the summer, we could clip every single person in the chat as well, and all of them were going 8th, 9th, 7th, 6th, right? And then Andrew's come in after 8 games. Some of us are 1st, But some of us are going, actually, I think we can make top 4. And the fact we can make top 4 is such a positive to where we've come from, especially the day that Kane left. Remember, and this was all the positive Spurs fans were all saying at the time, oh my God, Daniel Levy has sold the best striker that we've had in our lifetime. How could he do that? We're not going to, we've got no one to replace him. We've got this, we've got that. But yet we've all come in 8 games in and we're all gone, I think we can finish top 4. I don't know what, if that's not positive, then
I mean,
I don't know what
left to centre, we've been talking about what do we need to do? What does Levy need to do to back the manager to get better? Look, I'm just getting really bored. I'll be honest. I'm just getting really, really bored. I'll be honest. Me personally, I faced this last year when this start happened with Conte, and I was told I was negative then, and we went like that. Right? I'm not saying that will happen this time, by the way, but I had that last year. I heard this under Poch when I was negative because I said we won't get over the line because we don't have a deep enough squad.
I was around for them times when you saying that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
well.
And it was the same thing then. I'm saying the same things now. We're a good team, but most of these people in the chat having a go at me now are the ones that were saying we're going to struggle without Harry Kane.
Yeah.
That we were going to finish bottom half.
Agreed,
right?
Yeah.
We were going to finish 8th. Now, all of a sudden, because I've not jumped on oh my God, we're finishing first. Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool are crap. We're winning the league. Because I've not done that. You're pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic. Reality, my friends. I had this, whether it's Arsenal or Spurs, I don't care. I did this last year with Arsenal, and it was true. They didn't have the squad. And in the end, look what happened. One injury to Saliba. What happened to Arsenal?
Yep.
I think, look, everyone can, have an opinion on things. No one's asking anyone to think in any way whatsoever, But the thing is, when we start debating about these things and, we get called negative for it, it's really not fair because, that's just an opinion that we have. It shouldn't be labelled as negative.
Sorry,
no one's, no one's trying to call anyone out, but at the same time, you've got to let us have our opinions as well on things. What you might think is negative, it's just a debate, mate.
Yeah, and I think there's too much of this word negative anyway. It's not negative. Everybody it should be everyone in the chat who's a Tottenham fan and everyone on the panel wants Tottenham to do well. There's no negativity about it. It's just some people are more like not even positive. They're maybe more hopeful. Maybe they're just they that's how they live their life. They look at I'm glass half full, and this is going to happen. We try and bring a realistic, middle of the road vibe. That's all. We're just saying we're doing really well. This is what we could do to get better. There's loads of positives. Van der Ven, Romero, 2 massive positives. Udogi's been a massive positive. Porro's been a revelation for the most part. Maddison, Suma. Do you know what I mean? There's so many positives, but at the same time as bigging up the team and these other players, we've also got to talk about how we can get better. And we can go by past experience, and whether fans like to admit it or not, past experience shows us Levy doesn't back managers, and past experience shows us we don't have a great history of winning trophies in the last 15, 16 years. So, we've got to look at it from both sides. It's not negative. I hate that word. It's so negative.
When I go on to Saeed's show tomorrow and I have to defend Tottenham, and then they're all telling me I'm deluded, right? Because I'm defending Tottenham. And then I come onto my own channel, which is meant to be my own fan base, and the shit I'm getting lately, I've just had enough. Like it's just got too much for me. I don't enjoy it. I genuinely don't enjoy it. When they say, stop when when it's not fun, stop.
Yeah.
I've genuinely got to the point where I thought we'd had a really good conversation tonight, and then you just get a group of messages from people that should know better, like David Clark. Yeah. You're negative. What about this? You could be fun at a funeral. It's like literally, Marlon asked a question about where would you put us?
And
Yeah,
I thought that, no, and to be honest, Ava, I personally thought out of all the answers I got, that was the most positive one. So, and I couldn't believe it.
Hold on. I just thought of something. I literally, I think I can find the show and bring receipts. David Clark was actually quite negative before the start of the season because we sold Harry Kane. We're not going to get the goals. I said we can share around the goals and still do well. And he was one going, no, we're not going to Harry Kane. We're not going to do this and that. And look where we are. So to be fair, David Clark, you're saying about we'd be like more fun at funeral. I can go back and find the video and get the receipts. You were very negative at the start of the season.
Oh,
so.
yeah, he ain't got some Havanas, has he? Oh no! Ooh.
Sorry, go on, Sava.
Go on, Sav.
No, go. You're right. Go.
No, I was going to say what people got to understand as well is that when you put yourself out there on YouTube and you talk about it, you give your opinions. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, whether you agree with it or not. But it's all the hate, the vitriol, the nastiness that comes with it. It's totally unnecessary. At the end of the day, all of us are human beings. You know, everyone when Dele Alli came out and did that mental health thing was all, oh, you know, we didn't know. And yet there's so much hate and toxicity that comes into the chat and it's totally unwarranted, totally unnecessary and totally unwelcome. So if you can't be nice, my mum always said, if you can't be nice, don't say anything at all. And it's as easy as that. Have an opinion by all means, but you don't have to be an arsehole about it.
Mark Cook makes a fantastic comment there. 23 years of, I think things got up. 23 years of Levy not backing his managers. I think we are allowed to be sceptical.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, agreed.
You've had 23 years of it. It's only natural that some of us are going to think, you know what? Hold on a minute. We've had this for 23 years. Let's give it a bit of time and see where we're at. If you want to be one of those that sort of enjoys the ride and takes it game at a time, you're not really fussed about where we're going to finish, or you just want to dream big. Fair enough. Think that way. You know, for me personally.
And I'm just going to quickly add to it. Let's all be honest. Last year, right, Savra had said some things, right? And we all had to come with our tail between our legs when he was right, right? He's a good, like, at the end of the day, right, he always keeps on his feet on the ground, right? I've been on other channels as well, and I get a lot of positive comments about Savra going, oh my God, he's real, you know, and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, but I agree, whenever I come on yours, it seems to be so mixed of what the reaction you get. But when you go on others, they're so complimentary of you. It's just so weird.
I never thought my channel would get to the stage where I had so much hate. Like, do you know what? Like people, like always get thrown at me that, oh, you're too sensitive for YouTube. I'll tell you what, I was never this sensitive, but I've got like, I get shit all every time I start a stream. I'm just getting shit. Then my YouTube comments from this show will just be shit, just throwing shit. People lying, not listening to what I'm saying. I did a video earlier, right? And the video was essentially saying, look, Spurs will definitely get Europe. I think it's slightly too early for title talk, but I think we'll definitely get Europe. We're going in the right way. Love the manager. And the first response that I got back was, God, you're so pessimistic. Don't support Spurs anymore. You know, you think to yourself, hang on, 8 games ago, people were talking about relegation. I could literally come out and say, do you know what? This is the best Spurs team I've seen in years. And people would still find a way to go, oh, that's not enough. You need to say more nice things. And I'll be honest, I'll tell you what I've hated about it. And I'll call it out. I think you all know that I'm very honest. I just can't stand it. Like I see so many YouTubers that are clickbait. Yeah, YouTubers will put out messages for these people, like this guy, David Clark, for this Billy Horrocks, for these people, whoever that guy was, that Kent guy. They'll put out the links that they want to see. Spurs, amazing as we head towards title challenge. And these people go, oh my God, we love these people. They're so positive. These are the same people that in the summer were going, Ange, oh God, what, from Celtic? Right. But you like these people that go boom, 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 boom with their opinions, whereas mine is like that until I see something that makes me go spike like that. Like had the signing of Brennan Johnson been Santiago Jimenez, who's an out-and-out goal scorer, yeah, I'm starting to believe a bit more. But when I'm seeing that the centre-back we needed was Ashley Phillips, and I'm sure he'll be a very good player in the future. When I'm seeing Solomon, when I'm seeing Brennan Johnson, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this isn't quite what people are making it out to be. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, we'll see. Right? I've been told I'm wrong for 23 years. Marlon, you probably saw it all over the Twitter days when I was constantly told I was negative. Yeah. And most of what I said was right because I don't live in the moment. And I know people say, live in the moment, it's brilliant, and just enjoy the ride. At the moment, the ride is, 8 games? So, look, I'm going to have a break for a few days from YouTube. I need a break. I'm not enjoying it. So I don't mind admitting that live on air. I'm not enjoying it. I could be more like other people. I could be, I could be like Irish Dave. Big up to him. I love his enthusiasm. I love his passion for it. But I can't just sit there and say we're winning titles or we're in a title race after 8 games. I can't. I won't do it. And it's just getting to, I'll be honest, it's getting too much. It's affecting me. And it is that I'm getting vitriol. I'm getting people messaging me, calling my wife a whore. I'm getting people messaging me saying they're coming around my house. They're going to kill me if they see me. It's like, it's not fun. It's not fun anymore. And I've tried to stick with it. And there you go. Look, you get, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said my bit. I think it's an outrage, but it is hard not to get sensitive about it, because I've got quite a thick skin. I'm sensitive with my family and things like that, but I've got quite a thick skin. But a couple of times I've had things said to me and I thought, ow. But, people just don't think anymore. They think because they're behind a keyboard, they can say as they please because there's no consequence to it. And it's just, we're all supposed to love the same game. We're all supposed to love the same team. I don't understand why everyone has to be so toxic if they disagree with an opinion. But, yeah, it is what it is.
I just don't get why someone can't distinguish the difference between moaning and debating.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, come on, we're all adults here. I'm assuming we're all adults in the chat. Yeah. People like Lily White Luke. Sorry, I'll call your name out. Yeah. Like, you know what you're doing when you put up chats like this. You really know what you're doing. You're not stupid. None of you are stupid. Like, it's not on. Come on, guys. Honestly. Fell up of it, man. Seriously.
Yeah, listen, do you know what? Listen, I need to listen. I'm going to win the show. I'm going to read a few super chats. I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
I am going to have a few days. I'll be honest, it's just getting to the point. Some of the messages I'm just receiving every day are just vile. And then I come on stream and it's just vile some more. I don't want it. I'm not enjoying it. People can call me a crybaby, whatever. It's just getting vile. Every stream, I thought we had a really positive stream. And then all of that happened. So, look, big up to Nicholas Walker, who said, approach the season is just as I said to my missus on our honeymoon. I'm just happy to enjoy the ride. I just hope I remember it the next morning. Big up to you, Nicholas. Thank you so much. Jim has said, am I the 6th boyfriend? You're a hussy, Kate. Yeah, God, that feels like ages ago.
At least I haven't had 2 previous wives, you slag.
Shots fired. Mark Cook says, keep it going, Sav, you're a realist. Yeah, I know. I'm learning slowly but surely, Mark. That's not what the internet wants. It isn't. It wants sensationalism. It wants nonsense. But listen, Mark, thank you. You've always been a big supporter. You always send nice messages, so thank you. And then Jim's coming again and said, Kate, if you do not believe in life, then things won't happen. I've told you many times, be positive and believe, and good things happen. So start believing. Said no one that's ever worked for Daniel Levy before. Let's be honest. Look, I am going to end the show there. I've had enough. I'll be honest. I've had enough. I'm gonna take a few days and decide what I want to do. So listen, Marlon, thanks. Sorry that it went to that, Marlon. Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate that, mate.
No, thanks for having me on. Brilliant. Thanks as always.
Alan, big up you and your wall. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. I know you've had a busy weekend sorting stuff out, but thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Thank you. Since the mustard wall's been here, undefeated Spurs in the league, just so you're aware, guys. Long live the mustard wall.
Long live the mustard wall. Let's get a t-shirt brand going. And Kate and Haz, as always, thanks guys for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
No worries at all. Always a pleasure.
Guys, you know what this means? It means hit the like button.
Yeah, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe because it's a great channel.
Listen, guys, thanks very much. Listen, I would say I enjoyed it, but I didn't. So I'll see you later, and I'll probably see you maybe towards the end of the week. But listen, thanks everyone. Take care, and as always, come on, you Spurs.